Come on and get in. Hey there, welcome to Michael on the Go, Catholic Family Man Edition, and I'm your host, Michael Giannotti. Social media and the new evangelization, why social? Video 2 of 3. So in the last video, I talked about not being the subject of the conversation, but being an active participant in it. In this video, we want to talk about our second reason why, as faithful Catholics, we should be involved with social. And that is this: social allows us to scale. So when we talk about social media and the new evangelization, we really want, one of the things that's beautiful about social media is this idea of scale. Think about it. We now have the opportunity to have our message heard by many. Maybe on Facebook we only have 50, 60 friends, or on Twitter the same thing. But we still have an opportunity to scale. And how does that happen? Likes, retweets, reposts, right? So think about this. Today, if you're not in social media, you hear the latest speech by Pope Francis. And he makes some great points about something that you really want to share with somebody. So you go and share it with your best friend or with your spouse, with somebody that you're with, one of your children. You share it with them, you talk about it. You both think it's great. Maybe they'll go ahead and they'll in turn share it, but we all know, and we know that by word of mouth things can spread, but it's limited in its spreading. Think again about something that goes viral on the internet and how that happens. We see it all the time, like in YouTube, for example. Somebody posts a video. There was this young woman who, something like, I like Fridays. I don't even remember the exact video, but it was I like Fridays or something, a song she sang, right? The video went viral. Somebody saw it. They liked it. They reposted a link to it on Facebook and to Twitter, and then somebody saw those who followed them, and they did the same, and so on and so on. And she ended up with like 1 million plus hits on this thing, right? And we've seen that happen. Not only that, we had the kid president talking about be nice to people, and the same effect happening. There is a domino effect that can take place in social media that takes what we've seen with word of mouth and puts it on steroids. When you get into social media and you share what you're doing, you share your thoughts, your insights, you share your faith, there is an opportunity for it to scale well beyond what you might traditionally think. As an example, I'm posting a video here. It's being hosted up on YouTube, so people have view to it there. It's then being posted in my blog. I then am promoting that to Twitter and to Facebook and to Pinterest. I've been doing this for a while now. I then oftentimes have people contact me from all walks. I had, if Carlos, if you're watching, Carlos can vouch for this. I started doing that with technology, and I connected with Carlos, who was in Portugal, while I'm posting here in the US about things that were important to me working for my company locally, and I started having impact and connecting with others in other countries. And we started having conversations and dialogues. And the same thing happens here now with faith and family. And you have the opportunity to touch so many more lives. Not that you have a huge following, it doesn't have to be that, but that what you have and what you post out there, when you share your beliefs, when you share your pictures around things of faith, when you share your response, when you engage, when people are attacking the church, attacking faith, attacking our beliefs, and you engage instead in love those people in dialogue, other people see that, and then they look to what you're saying. They might go over to your page and take a look at, oh, what are they posting out there? And then they might reshare. If they click like, that shows up on anybody who's following them on Facebook as a friend. Anything they click like on, that shows up on those people's social streams. If they reshare it, it shows up on their social streams. If they retweet it on Twitter, it shows up for everybody who follows them. And it's that domino effect many times over. So we have an opportunity to scale and go beyond just our narrow circle of friends and people within our own Catholic circle, where we may be talking to each other, you know, sharing our thoughts and beliefs and feelings with each other, and we can get that out there. And so what are some easy implementing steps you can do? Well, number one, if you are involved in any kind of Catholic outreach, if you're an educator teaching theology and Catholic philosophy, if you are somebody who is a speaker, if you are involved with youth group and teaching and doing those kind of things, share the stuff, the topics that you're talking about, and give briefs. Share them, post them out to a blog, to YouTube, etc. And then share those, cross-promote them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, etc. Get them all out, get it out there, so that people who connect with you can re-expose that to others. You should, if there's messaging that you're involved with in some way, shape, or form, it needs to make its way to social media. Number two, engage, like I said in the last thing, engage in the public forum in social media. When Paul and the other apostles went to Ephesus and other places, they went to those gathering places to speak, those social places. They engaged the locals, right, in debate and dialogue, and preached Christ, brought the light of Christ to those social forums. You need to do the same. We all need to do the same. There's an opportunity for us in social media to engage, and as we engage in the social context, people will take a look at us and our other messaging. People will click like or retweet or whatever in those engagements, and that exposes it to other people. So we have an opportunity to get our message inserted into the secular anti-Catholic, anti-Christian messaging that's so often pervasive in social media. We can bring the light of Christ into the darkness that oftentimes fills those conversations. You know, my daughter's getting ready to go to homecoming. There's so much going on in today's society that is anti-Christian in its belief system and promotes, you know, rampant sexualization of young women and against modesty and chastity and those things that are pure and of God. And it's a great opportunity for me to share my experiences as a man of faith that I'm having with my daughter in shopping, for example, right? And that gives people, again, that insight into you, and then they can retweet, re-like, and it influences, it gives a domino effect. So, scale, 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 scale. So the first thing we talked about in the last video, number one, why social in the new evangelization? Because don't be a part of the conversation. I mean, be a part of the conversation, not the subject of it. Two, that we talked about today, scale, get involved, put out your messaging, make sure you're putting it out there on Facebook, Twitter, and other social things that involve you personally. Have a stake in the ground, a personal stake in the ground, so people will know you and see the light of Christ as it comes through you. You don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be eloquent, you just have to be real and authentic. St. Peter, the first pope, who Christ said, you are Peter, and you are Kephas, Petra, and upon this rock I shall build my church, was not the most eloquent of men. He was official. Yet Christ used him to found the largest faith on the planet, right? The original church instituted by Christ himself. You don't have to be eloquent or super articulate, whatever. You just have to be faithful and engage. That's what God's calling you to. So help scale. This is Michael on the Go, Catholic Family Man Edition, with some food for thought. Social media and the new evangelization. Why social? Why? So you can scale. But you have a great day. Take care, and as always, God bless. And in our next one, we'll talk about going forth and making disciples of all the nations. God bless.